Hey everybody, Sunday night, and I'm trying to get a little bit more work done on this violin here before we get back to the swing of things. Let me white. Alright, so sanded, it's got a clear coat on it, and I sanded it down so it's smooth, and we want that because when we use oil paint here is basically what we call the pigment. We're going to use this for the color that we want, at least for the base, which is a yellow. Okay, and then in between each layer I spray on a clear coat, and same idea. But over here these are the only paints that I currently have. Now the black one I'm going to be using for right in here, and you'll see it makes a big difference. And then I have 3 browns, so what I did is I put all 3 of them on a paper so I can see what that looks like. And then we had these 2 here ended up being fairly dark brown. You can see this one's a little bit darker than this one, but still they are darker than I would like them to be. So after my yellow, I decided to go with this, which is a little bit brighter. I'm sorry, a little bit lighter brown, and got a slight tint of red mixed in there. So first thing I'm gonna do, just double check. I went around here. I don't have any hard or rough spots. Same idea. It actually turned out really pretty right there. What is that? Oh, that's just the edge of a line. That's cool. Still smooth. Up here was a little bit hard to get everything smooth, but pretty good. There we go. Okay, and then just double check this side. Alright, it's all smooth, so let me set this up. Alright. I'm gonna use one of the. Ooh, this might actually work. Okay. My head's kind of out of the shot, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do, open up this. Let me see if I can actually get it just down a little bit. There you go. There I am. Cool. So I'm going to undo this guy. And squeeze out a little here. Okay, one second, bud. There we go. It's almost there, almost there. There we go. Alright, so have some right here. Here's the game plan, guys, is we're going to put at least 1 coat of yellow on, maybe 2 depending on how thin it is. And then when I start putting the brown on it, we're basically mimicking what a violin would look like over time. So I'll get this yellow down, and then I'll put the first layer of color, and then I'm going to go back on here and I'm going to gently wipe away the new brown to show the yellow from underneath. And that's basically what happens with antique violins that basically get touched and used all the time. Certain areas are pretty prone to, starting to wear through. So we're gonna go for somewhat of an antique finish. And we'll see how that works out. Worst case is you always add, if it doesn't look the way you want it to, you just go back and add more color on top. So typically I would start up here, but I really want you guys to get an idea how I'm going to do this here. So the important part about this getting smooth is that it's easy to lay down that paint as thin as possible so you get color, but it's still transparent. So when you're done, instead of just a thick oil paint, it ends up looking like just more like a stain, a transparent. So I actually use my finger for this guy, so I'll dip it in the yellow. There we go. And then I'm going to start right here. Get an idea how it's going to look on here. Okay. Not bad. Once I get this down, the goal is going to be to just make sure there's no dark spots, like darker than normal. So I'm going to keep doing this. Let me see if you can see it here. Here you go. So right here. There you go. Right there I put down the yellow, but if you can see, you can still see through it. So here I'm going to continue. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay. So I got a bit of it yellow now. See, I wish I had like a GoPro where I could just put it on my head and y'all could watch this. I'm going to try my best to flip this camera around and you can kind of get an idea of how I'm... But yeah, so I'm using my finger here and you can see this is what it looks like normal. And right up here, a transparent yellow. So I'll dip it in here. Oh, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I imagined. That's okay. Alright, so you can see right through here. So I'll go start like right in here. Kind of have to do this gently because without me holding it. So, alright, and I get it there. There we go. Gonna work the color around until it's nice and even. Now, the reason I said it's important for this part to be really smooth is that if you got a rough spot and you try to mix it in there, that paint's just going to hang out right there and it is not going to be even and it becomes a train wreck. So this is one of those sanding, prep, and that kind of stuff is very important. So then once I get it somewhat even, see it's a little dark down here, so I'm just going to try to pull it down through here. Okay, once it's even, then I just like to go like this and get all the, you know, they're not brush strokes, but, you know, it just kind of makes it a little bit more even. You see, I got pretty much around here. Alright, so I'm going to continue all the way down through, and then I'll show you where we're at. Alright, so this gives you an idea right here of what the maple looks like without the color on it, and then back here, a nice thin layer of yellow. Okay, now the best thing I can do is really continue to do really thin coats until you get the color you want, but still with the transparency. So I'm going to flash forward to the garage because I'm going to spray on a polyurethane barrier right on this, which dries fairly quickly, so I'm able to add another layer later tonight as well. So, but here's what I typically do is I typically go through and I do all of it. I only did this part so I can show you what happens after that. And I'm kind of curious to see if, because it is easier to paint it this way as opposed to when you get 75% done and you're trying to paint other things while holding it in the air, while you avoid getting that on your clothes and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to do it panel by panel. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. So, yeah, flash forward to the garage. All right, here we are in the garage. And I use basically a wire hanger hanging from the ceiling to hang stuff on to dry. So before I put it up here, I'm going to move over and we're going to get this camera situated. Let me move this. Alright. There we go. Alright, that should be okay. Let me here's my aerosol polyurethane clear gloss. Same, well, that's the one I started using on my guitar before. It just doesn't work out well for that. So let me grab this violin. When I hang these, I like to either go through one of these sound hole or the peg holes, or just kind of, unless I have wet paint here or something here, hang it right on the scroll. Okay, so non-yellow. Now we got yellow. So, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. I swear oh, it's right in front of me. All right. So, hold it like this. Try not to get it on anything here, and just kind of spray back and forth. Start right here, go here. There we go. And this stuff really is fast drying, so then now it's got a clear coat on it. Good, nothing's running on it. That means if you have a, there we go, sit this right here. That means if you lay it on too thick and it just starts to drip down, I always say it kind of looks like my instruments are crying when that happens. So that's it for right now. We're going to let that dry for an hour or two, and then I'll go back. I'll probably do the top next. Hope you guys had a good break. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. See ya.